One of Facebook's early investors is urging users to wake up to what he calls the dark side of social media. Longtime tech investor Roger McNamee advised Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg in the early years of the company. He is now the author of Zucked, Waking Up to the Facebook Catastrophe. McNamee argues Facebook is a threat to democracy, public health, and users' privacy. McNamee writes about how he became convinced that Facebook is, quote, terrible for America and needed to change or be changed. Facebook is responding by saying it has changed. Roger McNamee joins us now for an interview you'll see first on CBS This Morning. Good morning.
John, it's great to be back.
Thank you for being here with us. Wow, that is a condemnation, and it's Mark Zuckerberg's 15th anniversary. This is quite a present he's getting. Catastrophe, why?
So, John, we've all trusted technology for really good reasons for the last 50 or 60 years because every new piece of technology made our lives better. The problem is that Facebook and Google have taken advantage of that, and they've created products that essentially prey on the weakest elements of our psychology to create first habits and then addictions. And then they didn't take the steps to safeguard us from what bad actors could do. And so you've seen a really long list of bad things happening on Facebook and Google that were fundamentally because they let the users find all the problems. They don't do any preparation. And the real challenge we face now is that new generations of technology, like Alexa with the whole Internet of Things, and like artificial intelligence are coming, and those make the danger much greater. So we need to talk about it right now. Just have a national conversation, understand the issues, and that is why I wrote Zuck.
And given the scandals over the past 2 years, trust in the company has gone down. Revenue, however, has gone up, and they've actually seen more users come back to the company in the U.S. in particular. What does that tell you?
Well, what it tells me is that Facebook created this amazing platform. There's really never been anything like it for advertisers. They have essentially everybody on there, and they give you the ability to target very specifically. The same things that allowed the Russians to interfere in the Brexit referendum in the UK and our elections also allow advertisers to reach exactly the people they want to reach. When I want to sell my book, I advertise on Facebook and Instagram because they are the place to reach people. So I'm not surprised that the business is great, but that's not the argument I want to have. I just want to have a conversation about the future of our children. We just saw twice last week, Facebook was accused in one case successfully, legal challenge, with respect to essentially taking advantage of minors with, in one case, credit card charges related to games, and in the other case, a product that spied on all their usage. And
well, Roger, they clearly don't seem to want to have a conversation with you. And you sound like, in some respects, a scorned lover who you had an inside track with Cheryl and Mark, you say. You say that you introduced them, and now they're not listening to you. And my question is, why should they listen to you?
Well, they don't have to listen to me. The point here is maybe I'm the wrong messenger, and that I think is very clear relative to Cheryl and Mark. And that's fine. What I want to do is have a conversation, the substance of the issues.
But you've had no dealings with the company in over 10 years.
Well, you know, that's not entirely correct. I've not met with them personally for 10 years. But I deal with the
they're
product.
the ones you slammed in the book. You haven't had a conversation
No, that's
with
right.
them. Yeah.
But I deal with the product constantly. And the key thing is, what I'm talking about here is not about me. It's about the issues that Facebook and Google and other internet platforms, the issues that they're putting on America, the things they're putting on the whole world, because everybody is there, and we're vulnerable when we're on those platforms. They, you know, here's a very simple way to think about it. When you go into a terms of service on an internet contract, do you ever read it? It would take you know, in, I think it was 7 or 8 years ago, somebody went and checked, and it would take you 78 days to read every single one.
That applies to many companies.
Let's allow Facebook, because they gave us a statement. They said, we take the criticism seriously, and over the past 2 years, we've fundamentally changed how we operate to better protect the safety and security of people using Facebook. Let me ask you this, though. Do you have proof, evidence, that in cases where they have been told that they are allowing groups, foreign countries, others to siphon off personal information, that they haven't acted quickly when they were made aware?
One of the most basic ones was the Department of Housing and Urban Development cited Facebook for advertising tools that allow discrimination in violation of the Fair Housing Act. Facebook claimed that they had fixed the product, and then ProPublica did a series of studies that showed that they had not done so. The Federal Trade Commission went after Facebook for essentially improperly failing to disclose to users what was happening to their data. And Facebook did not, in fact, follow through and do what the Federal Trade Commission asked. That's how Cambridge Analytica happened. So this is, in fact, a repeated problem. And, you know, there's been one great author, Zeynep Tufekci at University of North Carolina, who characterizes Facebook as a 15-year apology tour because their strategy is to maintain a black box where we can't really inspect what's going on and then just apologize and promise to do better. And my point here is that these products are so important that we need to have these investigations. We need to recognize that.
Well,
You raised some good
there
questions.
does need to be. You've raised some questions, but you even admit, listen, you have no evidence, just spidey sense on why they should change, and that you're operating on hypothesis and not real evidence. But you're right. You've raised some issues. There should be a conversation.
And
but,
keep in mind, they
Roger.
have political power that dominates
Yeah.
in this country and
Okay.
around the world. They're not elected, and the whole point of Zucked is to give you, as a voter and as a citizen of the United States of America,
Okay.
an opportunity to understand the questions and the issues.
All right, Roger McNamee, very provocative title, too. Zuck goes on sale tomorrow.